We're going to break up our foreign policy debate into two parts. Joining us on part one, Ravi Shankar Prasad, Chief Spokesperson, former Union Minister, Deputy Leader of the Opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Prem Shankar Jha, one of India's preeminent journalists, K.C. Singh, former Secretary, Ministry of External Affairs, Sankarshan Thakur of the Telegraph newspaper. We will be joined by Ravi Rashid Alvi of the Congress in a few minutes. Gentlemen, it's quite direct. Sankarshan, why don't you start the debate? Are we getting kicked around in your view? BJP says we are getting kicked around. They talk about Sri Lanka, Maldives, Italy, Bangladesh, China and Pakistan. You think we are getting kicked around?
I wouldn't quite use those strong words, Arnab, but I think we have certainly turned very, very patchy. I think we've muddled our way in the Maldives. In the case of the Italian Marines, we have sort of committed one blunder, then redoubled it with another blunder. In Pakistan, I really don't buy the argument of cutting off all communication. What else do you do? You have to deal with a troublesome neighbor. It is a neighbor that cocks a snook at you all the time. The Prime Minister comes and within 4 days they pass a resolution saluting someone who's been hanged for an attack on Parliament. So Pakistan is going to be a troublesome neighbor, but the way of handling that is to deal with that neighbor. Cutting off all communication is not going to be able to... You can't have war with Pakistan. I hope not.
No, so what are you finding faulty in the BJP's approach? What do you find faulty in the BJP's approach?
No, I merely said that I would not use the kind of language that Mr. Jaitley used as being kicked around. I think for a lot of reasons, India and the Prime Minister still remain very respected on the world stage for what they represent. But I think equally that we have hammed our way in the Maldives, in the way we have dealt with the Italian Marines, first picking them up for the wrong reason, then letting them go on a Christmas holiday. For God's sake, which prisoner or under trial is allowed to go on a Christmas holiday and then on another holiday to vote?
Why are you getting into semi? Why are you simply faulting the language used? Ravi Shankar Prasad, Sankarshan Thakur questions the language used.
I am faulting the language used because I think it is too strong.
You think it's too strong? Yes, Mr. Prasad. It's too strong. It's not the language of diplomacy. You shouldn't be using it.
Or no, I will go on a more fundamental analysis of the mismanagement, gross mismanagement of India's foreign policy. We hosted Pakistan's Prime Minister religious visit to Ajmer, who writes, "I have come to pray for world peace." Fidayeen attack in Kashmir, coupled with the most undesirable resolution by the Pakistan Assembly, almost extolling the virtues of Mr. Afzal Guru, and not a word about terrorist attack on India's parliament. Now let me give you three clear instances as to why the government of India's management of foreign policy leaves much to be desired, and then you will understand why the need for hard language. You have seen in the wake of Mumbai terrorist attack, we had 12 dossiers sent about Hafiz Saeed. Pakistan was saying we are pursuing the matter in the court, and your channel was the first to expose that even the basic documents implicating him in the Mumbai attack were not furnished to the Pakistani court.
That's right.
Deception number one. We have got a very eminent Home Minister who said about saffron terror and Hindu terror, we have never segregated terrorism on the basis of religion. He regretted that statement, but it was lapped up of Hafiz Saeed, publicly extolled the virtue of Indian Home Minister. And today, your channel has showed as to how his linkage is the sponsorship of attack in Kashmir yesterday, leading to the death of so many courageous Indian security forces. The third issue is very important, what Sankarshan raised. In case of Italy, we have got 2,020 foreign nationals convicted in India in terms of Crime Bureau report. 1,800 are male, about 200 are female. Why was such a great charity being shown, first a Christmas trip and then the right to vote? If an Indian is arrested in New York or England or Europe, is he given the same courtesy to celebrate Diwali and Eid? And or no, most fundamental issue is glossed over. What was the instruction of the government of India to its lawyer before the Supreme Court? My information says that the government of India did not object to a deception being practiced by the Italian ambassador before the Supreme Court.
What are you suggesting?
Now you don't know as to how the foreign policy is being managed.
No, are you saying we're deliberately
whole
going
point.
soft? Are you suggesting
country the
are you
size of
suggesting,
India.
Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad, that there is some sinister motive behind going soft?
Or no, I don't know. But we have the great example of Mr. Ottavio Cottarocchi, again one from Italy in the Bofors case. But let me not go beyond that except to say and repeat what was the advice of Government of India to its lawyer when the matter was being taken up in the Supreme Court. Why did not the Government of India oppose it? Why not the Government of India say here is a case of two Marines undergoing trial for murder of two poor innocent fishermen of Kerala?
Sure.
What is the importance that they should be given that indulgence to go to vote in Italy? Now, these are important questions. Apart from Maldives, what is happening? Nepal is uncertain. Sri Lanka is uncertain. Therefore, the dominant objective of a foreign policy is the pursuit of India's interest.
Our third speaker.
Consistent with the global stature of India.
Our third speaker.
I regret to say there is a gross failure on that count as far as foreign policy and the UK is concerned.
Mr. Prasad, before I go to our third speaker, Prem Shankar Jha, I want to say this to you with all earnestness. I don't want to provoke you right at the start. But I remember that on the 18th of April 2003, from Aar Paar Ki Larai, war to the finish, the quote on 18th was a new hand of friendship with Pakistan. And I completely remember, sir, as a reporter listening to Atal Bihari Vajpayee scribbled what he said. I want to quote it today. May 2003, well after Kargil, he says, to search for peace is no crime. Whether we succeed to or fail is a different matter. Who wants failure? But to search for peace is no crime. I question today whether you have been consistent in the past.
You want me to reply just now?
I throw open the floor to Prem Shankar Jha. I want to chew on it and I want to come back to you on that. Prem Shankar Jha, are these quotes relevant in today's context?
I think they're more relevant today than they were even in 2003. First of all, let me just remind Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad and all our friends on the right, including the ones you had yesterday on your program, that in 2003, the attack on Parliament had already taken place. The Prime Minister, who is the stellar person in the BJP, reached out with a hand of friendship. So today is the BJP completely repudiating the desire for peace and friendship, reaching out to a smaller neighbor and saying, look, whatever you have done in the past, please behave, join us in behaving responsibly and let's make peace. Are you repudiating that? Today, the BJP is involved in a race to the bottom. It's not just in this issue.
Race to the bottom?
On every single issue, yes, it's a race to the bottom. The BJP is only relying upon instigating the worst sentiments in the Indian people, and they're then challenging the Congress to match them in going lower and lower and lower, and to use hate, to use anger, to use prejudice against neighbors, in fact, inside our country also. In every single thing, I find that the BJP does this, and then they lose 3.5%, 1/6 of their vote in 2009 over 2004, and they wonder why. I think
may I ask you, because I saw the hand go up, Ravi Shankar Prasad put his hand up. May I ask you to elaborate so it will be easier for him to respond? What you mean by saying that the BJP is catering to the worst sentiments of the Indian people? Would you please clarify, Mr. Prem Shankar Jha, what these worst sentiments are?
Yes, anger, a sense of inferiority, which is there in saying we are being kicked around. Then sort of religious prejudice. After all, Kashmiris are Muslims. Afzal Guru deserved to be hanged. BJP was right in the forefront of the demand for hanging Afzal Guru, irrespective of what it did to peace in Kashmir. And all that for a little bit of political advantage, which I predict now today they will not get.
Very strong words. Mr. K.C. Singh, I was about to come to you, but it's appropriate I go to Ravi Shankar Prasad. Anger, insecurity and religious prejudice cannot be the basis of foreign policy, says Prem Shankar Jha. Respond, Mr. Prasad.
I think, we were having a debate on the management or mismanagement of foreign policy, not the pathological hatred of Mr. Prem Shankar Jha against the BJP.
Pathological.
He's entitled for that. And I'm sorry, I'm not going to match his vitriolic against the BJP in the same language. I will not do that. Mr. Jha, please wait for your turn. I didn't disturb you. Please listen to me carefully and patiently.
It's all right, gentlemen. We'll have enough time.
Speaking about India's self-interest, if speaking about security of India against the scourge of terrorism is provoking anger, we don't bother. We have no problem with that. But we shall continue to speak for the interest of India. And we are very happy when we raised the two issues issued today in the two houses of Parliament. There was a unanimous resolution of Parliament reflecting the will of the country and widely applauded by all, regardless of how Mr. Prem Shankar Jha feels about it.
But she hasn't filed it.
Now we talked about Mr. Bajpai. He has been our supreme leader. Agra failed or no because Mr. Musharraf failed to recognize the scourge of terrorism. And we did not mind Agra failing. 2003 happened. But ultimately what happened? 6 January 2004, for the first time, President Musharraf, after 63 years of Pakistan's birth, recognized an agreement with Mr. Bajpai that Pakistan shall not sponsor terrorism from across the border against India. A first acknowledgement by a Pakistani president that Pakistan has been doing that. That was the biggest success of Bajpai's foreign policy and BJP's led NDA's foreign policy. An agreement which the government of India under UPA forgot. We are trying to dovetail the foreign policy management qua Pakistan on the basis of that premise which Mr. Bajpai has laid. Namely, Pakistan must desist from sponsoring terrorism from its soil against India. That is not of anger, Mr. Prem Shankar Jha. That is not a rabid nationalism we are seeking to portray. That is cool, calculated India's national interest in the war against terror laid down by Mr. Bajpai. That is our benchmark. Or now you must try to understand. I gave specific instances in the initial comments of mine. Where is the seriousness and earnestness in the management of foreign policy?
No, but Mr. Prasad
can have a problem.
No, but Mr. Prasad,
he may not have a problem with. He may not have a problem of so many Indians being killed out innocently by terrorists from across the border.
He didn't say that.
He
didn't say that.
But no, when we are talking of management of foreign policy, or when I'm talking of management of foreign policy, the national interest is the most important. Security of India is the most important.
No, you have been accused of putting foreign policy in a political context. I thought the basic thrust of Prem Shankar Jha's argument was you put foreign policy in a domestic political context. That was the thrust of his argument. As I don't know if I got him right. This debate between Prem Shankar Jha and Ravi Shankar Prasad will continue in a minute. Gentlemen,
because he has used very hard expression against us.
He has used hard language against you.
Let me respond.
But he has the right to use it.
Yes, therefore I have got the right to respond. On the national television, I have got the right to respond. Pursuit of domestic policy of security for its citizens cannot be alienated from the management of foreign policy. That is the basic crux of the proper statecraft of any foreign policy. And you talked about India's role under Mr. Bajpai. Let me remind your viewers and Mr. Jha again, when we went for nuclear explosion, the whole world imposed sanctions. And Congress friends said India will have to even worry about its bread. And ultimately, Mr. Bajpai did not succumb to any pressure.
Yes, sir.
NPT.
Yes, sir.
And the whole world lifted sanctions.
Yes, I agree.
That is how you secure national interest.
No, but why? We have got our politics into our foreign policy. KC Singh, I remember that in 1994, I think Narasimha Rao sent Atal Bihari Vajpayee and Khurshid to the United Nations Human Rights Commission in Geneva, when Pakistan was trying to push there was a Pakistan-backed resolution against India. We managed to push back because the political parties came together. What's going on now, KC? And do you think we are getting kicked around?
Arnab, firstly, you're absolutely right. I think the communication between the ruling party and the opposition on foreign policy has broken down, and that's not desirable.
Yeah, it has.
And this is not recent. It's been going on for some time. The success or failure of any country's foreign policy, particularly India's foreign policy, will be determined in terms of your periphery. 1950-51, we put King Tribhuvan on the throne of Nepal. 1974, we annexed Sikkim. 1971, we created Bangladesh. 1988, we went in and chased the mercenaries out of Maldives. So your success or failure will be in the periphery. Let's take Pakistan. Now, both UPA as well as NDA, the leaders of both the parties, have attempted to make peace with Pakistan. Both got kicked in their teeth.
Is that a crime?
Neither
Is
one
that a
nor
crime
the
to
other.
do that?
Both of them faced. No, so that's what I'm saying. So there is no harm in trying, but they should learn from each other's mistakes. Each one tried. Mr. Vajpayee tried. I was with him in Lahore. I saw 3 summits with Nawaz Sharif. But each time hope is raised, then Kargil comes in. Hope is raised, attack on the parliament comes in. What has set us discussing this today. And again with the Prime Minister, Congress came in saying, NDA was wrong because you should not stop talking. You must keep talking to Pakistan. How can you talk when you have train bombings in Mumbai? How can you talk when you have 26/11? How can you talk when you have a major atrocity or your soldiers?
Well, there is a strong constituency which believes you keep talking, and I think Prem Shankar Jha is among those people who say you keep talking. No, let's get Mr. Jha in.
Arnab, let me finish.
Say something too.
Mr. Jha.
No, let me just finish.
1 sec,
Let me just finish, Arnab. Okay.
I give the floor to Mr. Jha so that the debate continues. Mr. Jha, there is a strong view emerging from KC Singh, and KC, I'll come back to you. The argument that you can't keep talking. It can't be business as usual. You make a statement, then you go and have lunch, with the Pakistani Prime Minister after the Hyderabad blast. You are sending out the wrong signals. That constituency is now asking these questions. Don't send these signals.
Yeah. Shall I
Yes,
respond?
I want you to respond, sir, to KC and to Ravi Shankar Prasad.
Look,
Take it forward.
I could not disagree more with KC, but I'll come back to that in a moment. May I first start by clarifying something? Mr. Ravi Shankar Prasad has accused me of hatred of the BJP.
Yes.
Nothing could be further from the truth. I have said this over and over again. First of all, I'm an opinion maker. I have been one for 45 years. I take my job seriously, and I cannot afford the luxury of either prejudice or hatred. As far as the BJP is concerned, I've said this over and over again. Everything that has happened, the good things that have happened in the last 8 or 9 years, we owe to the BJP, we owe to the NDA, we owe specifically to Mr. Vajpayee. Let me tell you what. Our breakthrough in Kashmir, our breakthrough with Pakistan, and above all, the revival of our economy and this tremendous run of growth we have.
That's right. Now let's come to
All of these started with the BJP. So let me say that straight away, and I will say, since then, the BJP has gone into a kind of a mufassal fight among its leaders, in which they betrayed everything that the great leaders of BJP tried to do for India. This BJP is not interested in India, it's interested in getting the power. What they want to do with that power is to start bashing people. Now, Casey, let me come to what you said. What do you say? We cannot keep talking. All right, so let's fight. Let's bash them once. And what will happen? Pakistan is weak, okay. Maybe a few thousand soldiers will get killed. You and I and our children won't get killed. They will get killed. Who cares? They're only peasants. But at the end of that, we are taught a lesson, a diplomatic lesson. What will happen in Pakistan? It will strengthen Hafiz Saeed, precisely the most inveterate enemy of India. We need to deal with the moderates in Pakistan, and above all, I don't care whether they're moderate or not, the Democrats in Pakistan. And you will destroy democracy if you attack Pakistan. I'm very, very sorry. You must understand that first of all, if you look at Pakistan's position, you have got something happening in Kashmir. First of all, we are being lied to left, right, and center. We've had a news blanket on Kashmir for this last 1 month. But Kashmiris are so angry, it's unbelievable. And that came out 2 days ago in the way that there were stone pelters who were pelting the CRPF while they were defending their barracks. That is the state of Kashmir today. And on that, what happens is there's a reaction in Pakistan. What does the Majlis do? It passes a resolution, because if it does not, it will play into the hands of the worst elements in Pakistan.
Sorry, Mr. Jha, but they remember this 2 days before their parliament. No, but Mr. Jha, this is what is happening in Kashmir. Are you saying what is happening in Kashmir is Pakistan's business? Then let's go into that issue. Let's get in. I think that's where we are coming to a point of conflict in this debate. Let's get the other side.
May I say,
Mr. Jha,
anybody on the subcontinent who thinks that what's happening in the other country, our neighboring country, is not our business, is out of his mind.
Mr. Jha, are you saying
we have 180 million Muslims,
Mr.
and they are hostages in our country?
Mr. Jha,
be very honest about that.
No, Mr. Jha, on being re-elected in 2009, through the presidential address, the UPA's message to Pakistan was, we are willing to reshape our policy towards Pakistan if Pakistan sincerely confronts terrorism on its soil directed at us. That was the promise that we made. Then we had 26/11. We have evidence of Pakistani involvement. We have denials after denials by our neighbor. You know to what extent the separatist forces are funded by Pakistan.
I agree. May I come back on that?
I want to get the other side because I saw Ravi Shankar Prasad's hand go up.
Try and understand. Okay.
Let's get the other side. Ravi Shankar Prasad.
May I just say one more thing? May I say one more thing?
May I get a response from Mr. Prasad? Mr. Prasad, I think we are coming to a very critical point in our debate. There are two constituencies now. There is one constituency which believes Pakistan has a stake in Kashmir. We can't expect Pakistan to be quiet about Kashmir. There is one constituency which believes let there be terror attacks, you have to delink the peace process. And they accuse you of doing the same when you were in power. Between this group and the other group, which includes you and which includes KC Singh to a large extent, which says no, it's not possible. I think the divide is becoming more and more apparent.
No, Arnab, there's a third. No. I have a third point.
Okay, KC, go ahead. There's a third view, says KC Singh. Go ahead, KC.
See, my good friend Prem Shankar Jha just picked up from half my argument and took off. I never said you don't deal with Pakistan. All I'm saying is there is a difference between leaving the door open and all the time starting a dialogue to settle all disputes between the two countries for all times to come. This fallacy that Kashmir, if you solve the Kashmir problem, India-Pakistan relations will be normal, is a fallacy. Pakistan will not become a normal state. It is not a normal state. It has to come to terms with itself and decide what kind of a state it wants to be. It's killing its Shias, it's killing its MDs, it's going after the Sufis. It has to decide that, and we don't have to pay the price for it. But it does not mean that we stop people-to-people contact, trade links, anything which is available. But do not get down to dispute resolution.
Okay.
You will be disappointed each time.
How?
Because they are not either not able or not willing to control the terror network.
A response coming in from Ravi Shankar Prasad, before which I'd also like to put a point, most respectfully, that when a country says 4 months after the serial blasts in Mumbai, that Yusuf Raza Gilani is a man of peace, and Yusuf Raza Gilani will help write a new chapter in the history of our friendship, are we being a little gullible? And if we are being gullible, then why are we being gullible? Ravi Shankar Prasad wanted to come in. We are at an interesting point in our debate. Your response, sir.
First, a clarification at the very outset. Yes, Mr. Prem Shankar Jha is an eminent journalist of 45 years experience, opinion maker. But for him and his experience to call BJP undertaking a mufassil politics, a party which has ruled India for 6 years, is ruling so many big states of India with good growth rate and good governance. Who knows, we may come to power tomorrow. Again reinforces my point that he entertains pathological hatred against my party. And beyond that, I have nothing more to say. I leave it to your viewers to form an opinion about the almost vitriolic attack he has unleashed about us. Now, coming to the management of relations with Pakistan. Yes, Pakistan is a neighbor. We can change our friends, we cannot change our neighbor. But while dealing with Pakistan, certain caveats are very important. And where I agree with Mr. KC Singh is, managing Pakistan or their democracy is not our primary responsibility. Who is in control of Pakistan? The army, the ISI, who is calling the shots? These are important issues. Therefore, given the reality of Pakistan, when you say Pakistan is also a victim of terrorism, when you undertake what happened in Sharm el-Sheikh, you are completely reversing the entire well-known engagement rules with Pakistan which our statecraft and our national security demands. That is indeed very important. Now, as far as Kashmir is concerned, of late I am visiting Kashmir myself. There is a lot of change in Kashmir. And let us not measure our response as to what certain separatists only articulate who had never had any popular sanction. People of Kashmir want good governance. A good governance which has eluded them over the years. There is big corruption there, which we all know. Though the issue needs to be addressed, the issue of decentralization. People of Kashmir are equally fed up with terrorists because they don't speak because of fear. Those elements are required to be given proper exposure and also shelter. But the larger point remains, and that is indeed very important. The policy of 1,000 cuts in the wake of what happened in Bangladesh, Ziaul Haq policy of causing 1,000 cuts to India, remains the dominant theme in the management of foreign policy by Pakistan against India. Unless you take that into account and respond adequately and properly, you cannot have any good relationship. You may can have jhappiya or people-to-people contact or trade relationship or other delegation of journalists. Good luck to them. But the rub of the matter, the core is this refusal of Pakistan to recognize the need to coexist with India. That is the problem.
No, yes. I think two critical issues coming forth. We're heading to our first break in part one of this foreign policy debate. But I raise a question here. Is appeasement, the question I put is appeasement a nature, if appeasement is bad in politics, appeasement is also bad in diplomacy. When we say we must ask Pakistan to take strong, effective and sustained action to prevent terror attacks in India, do we make it look like an appeal to Pakistan? Or do we make it look like a precondition to Pakistan? Most Indians would say tonight, make it a precondition. A large part of the fraternity in Lutyens, Delhi believes, let it be an appeal. I think that's where the divide is emerging. Sankarshan.
Arnab, what comes from making that a precondition? I mean, that was a precondition for a long time. What came of it? I mean, I've seen serial saber rattling here for weeks and weeks on this issue. You tell me, Arnab, what comes from stopping negotiating or dealing with Pakistan? How do you do
What's
it?
gained by the negotiations? Let me ask you a counter. What do you gain by the negotiations if the terror attacks continue?
Deal with it. Sorry?
What do you gain by negotiating for negotiating's sake if the terror attacks continue?
How do you deal with it? You are stitched up geographically to this neighbor who is a troublemaker. You have to deal with a troublemaker.
We have dealt with them.
What is your solution?
We have dealt with them.
What is your solution for dealing with them?
I'm presenting a situation.
If you want a war, and then we shall discuss it like that.
No. In September 2006, Sankarshan, Manmohan Singh said that Pakistan with India is a victim of terrorism. He said it in Havana 2 months after the July train bombings in Mumbai.
It is a victim of terrorism.
Yes, it is. But one second.
He said nothing wrong.
So you tell me, that happened 2 months after the Mumbai attacks, Mumbai train bombings. You said we are victims of terrorism. After that, 26/11 happened. After that, the series of attacks till now. What has changed? Casey is responding to Casey, please. Casey to Sankarshan. Casey.
It is not my case or anybody's case that Pakistan is not a menacing troublemaker, but we have to deal with Pakistan.
How is the question? Casey.
And deal with Pakistan as modern nations deal with each other. It is not going to get sorted out overnight.
I need to take a break, but Casey is responding to you. Gentlemen, this debate is Casey.
Yeah. Let me give Shankar Sen the example of India and China. 50 years since 1962, they have refused to settle the border with us.
Yes.
The dispute is unsettled, and yet we are dealing with each other. We have established relations. So how do you describe India-China relations? Is that a normal way of dealing with each other? The way to deal with Pakistan is not to go rushing into dispute resolution. Let Pakistan find a middle. Let Pakistan settle down as a normal country. It is not a normal country. Once that happens, leadership emerges. There is a period in which there is sustained engagement with India. That is when disputes get resolved. Here we stand it on its head. We say, let's resolve the dispute, then Pakistan will become a normal nation.
Yes.
That is not the way it functions.
Well, today...
Sankarshan, your response to Casey.
For the first time in their history...
Your response to Casey,
today is the day that for the first time in their history and our history, Pakistan's democratically elected government has completed a full term. So let's hope they become a more stable nation.
Well,
That's
And
good
see
for us.
what they've done while leaving. See
That's
what the
all.
parliament has done while leaving.
Well, I think, gentlemen, this debate is really interestingly poised.
You know-
At this stage, Shankarshan, 1 minute, please. First of all, Prem Shankar Jha, Sankarshan Thakur and KC Singh don't go away. Prem Shankar Jha and Ravi Shankar Prasad can speak on the phone later. I'm sure they'll have a conversation. The question tonight is this. I'm glad you at least brought a smile to your face. Ravi Shankar Prasad, for helping us take off on this foreign policy debate. I thank you at this stage. I put a question here. Can we write a new chapter in the relationship with Pakistan if Pakistan is not changing its script? Mr. Jha, I'm coming back right to you. I'm coming back to you. You have something to say. I'm coming to you in 3 minutes on the other side of the break. Welcome back tonight on the Newshour, the foreign policy debate. I now welcome Seshadri Chari, who's convener of the Foreign Affairs Cell of the BJP and plays a critical role in deciding the role of the BJP's foreign policy thinking. Now, Mr. Chari, I'm not, saying this to provoke you, but while it is totally politically expedient for you to talk tough about Pakistan today, history will note that your government gave an exceptionally long rope to Pakistan in your last year of power between 2003 and 2004. You did U-turns. Vajpayee said things in Srinagar nobody expected him to. He reiterated his stance in parliament. So really, having been through all that, your critics today accuse you of doing this only to come to power. Your response, Seshadri Chari.
No, you said what we did in 2003,
Yes.
or say 2004, what happened in Agra
Yeah.
did not return the BJP or NDA back to power. So if we had done that only to come back to power, it was wrong. We shouldn't have done it, or what we did was wrong. The basic idea is not what we did, what NDA did, or what BJP did, what Vajpayee did. The question is, the nature of geopolitical situation is changing very fast. Our foreign policy formulation towards Pakistan is the same static one that started from the times of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru in 1947, 50, 51, 52, 53 till 62 or even after that. Our engagement with Pakistan basically depends on two things. Number one, come rain or sunshine, we should keep on talking to Pakistan. A day will come when Pakistan will suddenly realize that India is a great friend of Pakistan. So they will come and embrace us and they will be very friendly with us and they will stop all terrorism. That is premise number one.
Is it?
The premise number two is the Western world, especially the USA, will somehow impress upon Pakistan to do away with terrorism. And then the world will be free of terrorism. Obviously, India also will be free of terrorism. These simple premises in foreign policy do not work. That is why when I am saying that we need to take a very tough stand, incidentally, it is not only the BJP which is saying that we have to take a tough stand. Every time Pakistan does something provocative, even the government of India, you heard the Home Minister of India talking on the floor of the House, कि हम कोई हाथ में चूड़ियां पहन के नहीं बैठे हैं. This was not BJP Home Minister, it was the Congress Home Minister.
No, I am asking you BJP record.
Home Minister.
My question was, Mr. Seshadri Chari,
Yes.
Lahore was followed by Kargil, Kargil was followed by Agra, Agra was followed by the attack on
Correct.
Parliament, it was followed by Operation Parakram, and later you had to enter
Correct.
into a ceasefire agreement with Pakistan.
Correct.
So your
Correct.
government has shown more
Agreed.
patience with
Agreed.
Pakistan than this government.
Agreed. Now, we would have agreed on all these things from 2004 to 2009, from 2009 to 2013. Again, we have given a long rope. Vajpayee gave a long rope. I.K. Gujral gave a long rope. Narasimha Rao gave a long rope. It was 1994.
So you
when
admit your
Benazir Bhutto
mistake.
suddenly
So you
stopped
are
all talking Pakistan.
admitting tonight.
From
You are
94
admitting your mistake.
Arnav, from 94 to 2013, 20 years, we have kept on talking to Pakistan. Forget what Vajpayee did, forget what NDA did, forget what BJP did or said.
Why forget?
We are only asking this government to take a stock of the situation for the last 60 years, not just what Vajpayee did.
While acknowledging a mistake you made. While acknowledging a mistake you made or while defending a mistake you made?
Arnav Goswami, in foreign policy,
Chari
it is not mistakes.
What Mr. Vajpayee
These are all
did
not
with
called
Pakistan.
mistakes.
These are not called mistakes.
Pardon?
Seshadri Chari, you're getting a counter from Sankarshan. Sankarshan, go ahead.
I'm saying that from what I can gather, Mr. Seshadri Chari is virtually repudiating whatever steps Mr. Vajpayee took as Prime Minister in order to, extend the hand of friendship to Pakistan. And two, I find it. I don't get any sense of what Mr. Seshadri Chari wants us to tough stand. We should stand tough. What do we do? Tough stand means what? I heard Mr. Seshadri Chari the other day, and your tapes will prove it. He was telling a Pakistani interlocutor, why are you worried about that land? That land is ours. Now, as in Pakistan is a sovereign country, we cannot begin any discussion with Pakistan when our mindset is that that land is ours. It cannot be. It is the most ridiculous position I have seen any Indian take in relation to Pakistan, to say that land is ours. Does that remain Mr. Seshadri Chari's position even today, about a month later?
Yes.
Let him clarify on this.
Yes.
And then we can go ahead
my
with the
position,
discussion.
Shankarshan, my position remains the same.
I'm listening.
Yes, it has not
not
changed.
Ours, sir. It is a sovereign
Pakistan,
country. Your Prime Minister has gone
Pakistan
and
was a
saluted at the
mistake.
Minare Pakistan.
Pakistan was a mistake.
Now we should start
the
correcting those
creation of
mistakes.
Pakistan was a mistake played on the part of the British.
And so
Let
what
us
should
not
we do
go
about
back
it
to
60 years
history
later?
so
We
much.
should go back 60 years.
If 47 could have been corrected in 1971,
Then what
I
are we
don't
talking
see
about?
any reason why 71 cannot be corrected much later. But I am not saying tomorrow the government of India has to do it. Anyway, the UPA government has no guts to do any such thing.
Mr. Prem Shankar Jha is responding now. Mr. Prem Shankar Jha is wanting to come back to the debate. Gentlemen, 1 minute. Gentlemen, I put a question here. You see, this question is being put in a certain context. Now, there will be one section of the viewer which will ask, we may not want to be as aggressive as Seshadri Chari is, but what have we gained? You know, since the meeting between Nirupama Rao and Salman Bashir on the sidelines of SARC in Colombo, I think it was February 2009, to now, what do we get? The decapitation of our soldiers. So what is this achieving? There is no progress.
And no MFN status granted till now.
Fine, that's another point. Prem Shankar Jha wants to respond to you. Mr. Jha to Seshadri Chari, please. Go ahead.
Arnab and Mr. Chari, I must say one thing. We keep saying Pakistan must do this, Pakistan must do that. Pakistan has not held back the terrorists. Pakistan is attacking us. The fact is, who in Pakistan? I mean, you're talking of Pakistan like some kind of a homogeneous entity as a state. It is not that. You know that. There are three parties which are contending to become the Pakistan state, and has been so right from the start. The religious groups, the military, and the democratic civil society of Pakistan. Every time we attack Pakistan and we take a hard line, we are weakening the civil society and we are strengthening either the religious extremists or the Pakistan army, and we are encouraging them to make to join hands because they fear India. Don't forget, India is 10 times the size of Pakistan in GDP and 8 times its size in population and terrain, more or less.
Go ahead,
now,
Mr. Jha.
Let me finish. I've been very patient. Let me just finish, please. Please. Whenever we talk about, when you say appeasement, we are appeasing Pakistan, we actually reveal our own sense of insecurity. We reveal our inferiority complex. We don't have any reason for inferiority complex towards Pakistan. Try and understand that Pakistan is frightened of us for much better reasons than we are frightened of Pakistan. And the other thing is, in Pakistan, everything you do, every time that a BJP man opens his mouth on Pakistan, he only strengthens Hafiz Saeed. They are Hafiz Saeed's best friends. Manmohan Singh has been trying to stop this. He, Gilani, Zardari, etc., the whole democratic establishment in Pakistan, Nawaz Sharif, there's complete 90% of the Pakistani democratic structure wants good relations with India. And we have been responding to that. There's been 2 years of progress, and now over 2 or 3 tragic episodes, including the Afzal Guru and Kashmir episode, BJP has stolen the agenda, and we're going back on the road to war. And the war for what?
No, but what has come of it,
destroy the Pakistan state. You will have a jihadi complex there with 2,000 kilometers of
Pakistan is not, first of all,
terrain with us. Frontier with us.
Mr. Jha, first of all, Pakistan is not our problem. We are caring too much about their social and their political problems.
Pakistan is our problem.
No, Pakistan's internal issues are not our problem.
They're coming into India, it will become our problem. Let me assure you of that. I mean, how can you say it's not our problem? There's no hard boundary between us.
A second point, Mr. Jha, great respect for you, Mr. Jha, but my limited point to you, my intervention to you is that, we are all conceding on this discussion tonight that India's policy is marred by oscillations and posturing rather than by a unified or universal policy. Once. Therefore, when have we ever seen political parties come together and say we have a combined policy towards Pakistan? I'm sure the Pakistanis also know that we are fighting here. And I don't think that helps the situation. Seshadri Chari is responding to Prem Shankar Jha. Mr. Chari to Mr. Jha.
No, I don't know. Both,
especially on the point of Mr. Jha, that every time a BJP leader opens his mouth, he strengthens Hafiz Saeed. He says that to you. Respond to him.
Today, not in the past.
I leave it. I don't grudge all these issues with Mr. Jha because he is a very experienced person and he carries a large baggage of partition. I don't belong to that generation which saw the partition, Holocaust of partition with own eyes. So I don't want to comment on all these things. I don't want to go into the history of Hafiz Saeed and all that and BJP and all this. But I'm limiting my point to one thing. There is a very big constituency in India represented by people like Mr. Prem Shankar Jha to a very large extent which thinks that a strong Pakistan and a democratic Pakistan will be better for India to deal with.
Yeah.
I think India has dealt with all kinds of Pakistan. An army Pakistan, a democratic Pakistan, a political Pakistan, a religious Pakistan, everything. Like they say about Prussia, Pakistan is not a country which has an army. It is an army which has a country. The biggest problem in Pakistan is the army, the ISI and the radicalization of not only the army but also the civil society. Remember one thing, in the last 4 or 5 months, some of the worst things that have happened to India from Pakistani side were from its Prime Minister, from the President of Pakistan, from the Parliament of Pakistan, the political parties of Pakistan, the Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Hina Rabbani Kar, the Home Minister, Interior Minister of Pakistan. It is these people who have derailed India. So it is, it's not that they are our friends. Hafiz Saeed may not be our friend, but these people have also not been our friends. And then Shankarshan Thakur asked the question, what do we do with Pakistan? It's very simple. The biggest question that haunts us vis-a-vis Pakistan is the issue of terrorism. Now, our defense minister has again and again on the floor of the house has said that there are more than 67 terror camps all along the Indian border. He has given the exact numbers and obviously he must be having the details. If Pakistan is not able to control terrorism against India, I think India also has every right to take a unilateral step. We can help Pakistan reduce all these terror camps. We don't have to attack Pakistan. We can help Pakistan in finishing these terror camps. Talk to them about that. Why talk to them only about hockey and cricket?
Well, if they are listening, I'm not sure if they are listening, and I'm not sure if the basis of the duplicity of Pakistan.
I'm listening, all right.
No, not to you. My question is whether Pakistan will listen, or whether the situation which Mr. Seshadri Chari today presents is a situation that can only be thought about but not happen. My question to Casey is this. Casey, tell me, we extend the olive branch to Pakistan, but Zardari goes to the UN General Assembly and makes another provocative comment. There is ceasefire violations increase, and we have these foreign secretary level talks. We've seen the insensitivity of Rahman Malik. You know, the kind of comments he made on the disaster of a trip in December 2012 to India. At the end of the day, there is a constituency.
The foreign minister.
Yeah, of course, the foreign minister also, and Rahman Malik comparing Babri Masjid demolition with 26/11, later saying, I have not made the remark. I am not sure if all this is happening in isolation case. Is all this happening in isolation? Is Pakistan simply doing all of this by accident?
Look, this
no, Mr. Prem Shankar Jha, I am asking Mr. Prem Shankar Jha about this.
What is your question to Prem Shankar Jha? Go ahead.
Answer?
You articulate.
I'm saying he said we should be talking to the civil society. Are these people not representative of the civil society? The President, the Prime Minister, the Home Minister, the Foreign Minister. Who are they? And look at this, the President of Pakistan came here, we rolled a red carpet. And the next day what he does, what the Parliament does.
So Mr. Jha respond. KC, I'm coming back to you.
Which continued for 5 years.
KC, I'll come back to you, but that question was reiterated by him to Mr. Prem Shankar Jha.
Yes.
I think he wants a response from Mr. Jha. Go ahead, Mr. Jha. And then KC, last word to you.
Thank you, Mr. Ravi. Thank you, Mr. My God, I was going to say Prasad. Thank you very much for asking me that question, Mr. Sheshadri, and thank you for your courtesy. The truth is that actually it's precisely these people in Pakistan whom you mentioned at this moment, the present President, the present Prime Minister, the present Foreign Minister above all, Rahman Malik is a different kettle of fish, who are most keen on constructing a good relationship with India in the future. They have both strong economic reasons for this, and they're perfectly self-interested reasons, but the reasons we can use to our advantage if we help them. There are also strong political reasons, because they do not want a situation to arise in which some kind of a conflict with India only ends up by weakening them and strengthening the jihadis in their country. They have lost 40,000-50,000 people in 4 years in the fight inside the country.
Yeah.
And I must agree with you that their terrorism and our terrorism is quite different.
Try to be a little more logical.
Okay. I am logical. I mean, I've never been accused of being illogical in my entire life.
If this President wanted really a friendship with India, I mean, you tell me.
You pick up. No, wait a moment. Let me say something.
You are saying that these people who want good relations with India.
Yes, I do say that, and I emphasize that. Yes, I know. You pick up one remark, which is a response to an outrageous act by us. And then you say, oh, the act is fine, therefore the remark is invalid. But the point is, the people who are affected by that act don't agree with you.
What was the outrageous act by us?
So for heaven's sake, I don't agree with you. I think it was a terrible act. And then, of course, there's going to be I have been warning against the repercussion of hanging Afzal Guru from 2006. And I've been proved right. Can you say that about yourself?
Mr. Jha, I give the last.
Please tell me.
I mean, you have very conveniently short memories.
Mr. Jha, please tell me, a Kashmiri terrorist attacks your parliament. It's an attack on India. It is not an attack on a house or a building. And it is a decision of the Supreme Court.
One sec.
You want the Supreme Court to be considerate about India-Pakistan relations?
No. One sec. I can equally ask here.
No, I completely agree with you. They attacked Parliament. We should have obliterated Pakistan. We have nuclear weapons. We should have wiped them out.
One good reason.
What then after that?
One good reason why we should allow Pakistan to get away with this kind of resolution being passed in their parliament. Give me one good reason, please.
You're talking Yes, all right. May I answer now? I've heard you. May I answer now? You are talking the language of school bullies. This is not the way international relations is conducted. You've got to have restraint, and the bigger you are, the more restraint you must have.
Well,
the more you must be able to put yourself in the
Mr. Jha,
and see what is bothering you. I'm sorry, I don't agree with any single word.
Mr. Jha,
because we are strong against Pakistan, we beat them. Because we are weak against US, we lift them.
Mr. Jha, one second. Last word to KC Singh, who's listening. No, you see, Mr. Jha. Mr. Jha, it will. One second. Sheshadri Chari and Mr.
Let me assure you. we have no intention of beating Pakistan to pulp. We don't have to do it. They are on their way to commit suicide. All that we have to do is keep quiet. I would rather suggest what Narasimha Rao did in 1994 was the best policy. Ignore Pakistan. We can do it. But the problem is, again, a constituency represented by people like you, who would not allow India to even ignore Pakistan. That is a whole problem with India and also the Indian foreign policy.
I put it. 1 second, gentlemen. Gentlemen, 1 second. KC Singh, the divide therefore is between two sides. And the last word is to you. One view is ignore Pakistan.
Arnab,
Sankarshan, 1 minute. You know, the other view is...
Yeah, just give me 2 minutes.
Sankarshan, please. Sankarshan. The question is this, please. You can ignore Pakistan, but you don't need to indulge Pakistan. When you begin to talk about the problems Pakistan is facing, are you beginning to indulge Pakistan, which no self-respecting country, certainly not India, needs to do? KC, please.
Arnab, you don't have to be either hard or soft. You have to be smart. Let me quickly give 2 examples to Mr. Jha and to Mr. Chari. Mr. Jha, 72, Mrs. Gandhi was taken for a ride by Bhutto, quoting the same argument. If I concede that LOC is a permanent settlement between India and Pakistan, democracy will die in Pakistan. Ultimately, he died. But that is how Mrs. Gandhi conceded, and there is anecdotal evidence on this. For Mr. Seshadri Chari, I was present in 99 when Mr. Vajpayee on the lawns of the governor of Lahore said very clearly, he says, when he told his party that he was going to Minar-e-Pakistan, he was told by his advisors the same thing that Mr. Seshadri Chaudhary is saying. You will legitimize Pakistan by going there. And he said, I don't need to legitimize Pakistan. Pakistan is legitimate. This is what the Prime Minister belonging to the BJP said on the lawns in 99. You know, this is, I think, we can't take extreme positions, but at the same time, both sides need to learn from each other and adopt a smarter strategy. You don't need to be that extreme or the other extreme. It's a difficult neighbor. We don't need to indulge it, nor do we need to ignore it. We need to handle it.
Yeah, but you know, we need to handle it, but we cannot take guarantee for them. I think this whole business that we need to treat them with so much care that they are not a bother for us. They can't be a perennial migraine for India. I thank all the participants tonight. This has been a fantastic foreign policy debate. KC Prem Shankar Jha, Seshadri Chari and Sankarshan Thakur. We disagree as much as we can. But on the Newshour, this free and frank exchange between us has been most fruitful. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me on Foreign Policy Debate on the Newshour tonight. Thank you.